Hi, I'm Madison and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a reading vlog dedicated to Does It Hurt by H.D. Carlton. So I last year read the entire Cat and Mouse duet plus the prequel novella and I had a blast and a half reading it. Everyone said it was the darkest romance book ever and I was like, it really wasn't like that bad, honestly. I was like, I think I've actually read darker books than this. I was like, this is actually fine. And it ended up being 5 stars for me. They're some of my favourite books that I've read of all time. That being said, H.D. Carlton did come out with a standalone dark romance that everyone has also been losing their minds over. Now, I've put it off reading this because it's the only H.D. Carlton book that I haven't read yet, and so like once I finish this, I have no more of her books to read. Now, that being said, I gave the Cat and Mouse duet 5 stars. I gave her other book, Shallow River, like 2.5 stars basically. So my H.D. Carlton like radar is like very hit or miss currently, so I actually have no idea what I'm going to think of this. Now, a lot of people think I'm going to love it. I hope that I'm going to love it, but there is a chance that I don't because I don't know. Now, everyone loses their literal vaginas over the fact that there's a scene in this where they do, they bow chicka wow wow, they hot dog and hot dog bun it, where, that was a choice, in like shark infested waters or something like that. There's like fan art that goes around of literally her being banged by him while she's about to be like potentially eaten by sharks. And everyone was like, oh my god, that's crazy. Whereas I sat there and I go, oh, I'm quite intrigued by that. I would now like to know how this came to be. How did shark begging come into the storyline? So I'm gonna read Does It Hurt and find out if it's good. I was trying to think of honestly something for like 5 minutes for starting this video for like, does it hurt? Does it does it hurt? Does it slap? Okay. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, I'm so sorry. Yeah, I'm excited and let's get into it. Okay, so far I'm 10 pages in. We are following Sawyer, who's apparently on the run from her super rich family. She was about to board a flight to flee the country as a fugitive to Indonesia. Her cousin, her mother's brother's someone, basically was on the plane that was a distant relative who recognised her, so she had to yeet the fuck out of the airplane, and then bought the first ticket that was out of the country, which ended up being to Australia, surprisingly enough. So she takes a flight to Australia. She's been there for 3 weeks on the East Coast, and she's a fugitive. She's a legitimate fugitive. She's like on the news and everything. I don't know what the hell this chick did. She definitely murdered someone, I can tell you that much. This girl, okay, she's there, has a pack of cigarettes, a pregnancy test, she's smoking them. Guy sitting next to her, they strike up a conversation. She sees he has this like tattoo on his thigh that says fuck you on it, okay? And she's like, where'd you get that? He's like, oh, I did it myself, I go do stick and pokes. And then he pulls out, you know, as per normal, whips out like his stick and poke set and goes, want me to do you? She's like, sure, why not? Can you tattoo fuck you in bold, what is it? Bold letters on my thigh as well? And he goes, yep, sure. So she decides in the span of 5 seconds to get a giant fuck you tattoo. From a strange man with a stick and poke set. Oh my god, I'm sorry. Wow. Yo. This is good shit right here, right now. Oh my god, she's in the bar. That's where she meets Enzo. First off, he's like, yo, you know, for a man that's supposed to be a walking red flag, all I'm seeing is green, okay? I don't know how she ends up stranded, kidnapped, or whatever the fuck with this man, but right now he is not a red flag. Right now he is just deliciousness. Enzo, man, this man is delicious. He by the way, he runs one of those like shark diving thingamabobs. Anyway, she goes with him. They end up at like a waterfall. They're in the waterfall in this like lagoon, separated from everyone. She wants to bang him. He's like, I'm gonna ruin you, but you're gonna ruin me as well. And then there's a whole like eating out scene that was very well done. And now they're about to bang on the rocks by a waterfall. And we are 40 pages in, bro. 40 pages in. Just her POV. Oh, that's good. Also, it turns out, so what she does to survive since being a fugitive on the run for the last couple of years is she sleeps with men and gets the information and steals their identities. So she steals the identities of rich men who have unisex names so that she then can make a credit card and use their money, basically. That's what she does. So, anyway, also, how pretty are the internals for this? Like the lighthouse vibes? Oof. I really want to know, like, how does he turn into a red flag? Like, how does he turn into, like, a bad dude? Alright, I'm gonna go get lunch. I'm about to get lunch. But I'm now officially, 60 pages in. We got to the very first chapter, that is Enzo's chapter. Okay, so finally we have his chapter. Of course, this chapter starts off with him patting a great white shark, you know, because that's the norms in life. You just pat a great white... Look, I'm Australian and bitch, and I ain't even gonna do that. Regardless, the reason why I'm guessing everything ends up happening is because our babe here, Sawyer, stole his identity. Like she always does to get credit cards. So she stole his identity, opened up a credit card in his name, and she was like, this is probably a bad idea. He's gonna know, but I should be okay. He figured it out the day of. Well, okay, obviously he figured out something was wrong the day of. He couldn't figure out what it was. And then he saw that a credit card had been opened up in his name, and he was like, oh, it's her. So he knows. He's fully aware that she opened up a credit card, and he's watching her make all the payments. So clearly, bitch here, Enzo, is going to track her down, and then shit's going to go downhill. Now, I still don't know if he means to purposely, like, he doesn't seem like he's actually, like, a bad dude. So, like, I don't know if he actually kidnaps her, or maybe some bad shit happens, and they're together. I don't know. I'm so intrigued right now. Like, I'm actually having a lot of fun with this. So, I'm going to have lunch because my stomach keeps gurgling, and I'm not going to be able to focus if my stomach keeps being like, bitch, I'm hungry. So, I'm going to go eat, and I'll be back. First off, the whole shark sex scene happens before the 100 page mark. I did not realize the shark banging happened that quickly. I'm so surprised. Oh my god. Second, it was an interesting scene because weirdly enough, I thought when I'd seen it online, I thought it was supposed to be like sexy, and like, I mean, honestly, I didn't really know what the context was. It was definitely worse than I expected. First off, Sawyer's a dumb bitch. Okay, no offense. You steal a guy's identity, then you see him again, and you think, oh, maybe he doesn't know, so I'll just go along with him and get on his boat into the middle of nowhere. Girl, I'm so sorry. That was dumb bitch energy. She even knows it's dumb bitch energy, but she's like, it's fine because I don't think he knows that I stole his identity. I don't care. You've been doing this for years. What? Why? I just don't, there's no logic there. I do not understand that part of it. Second, obviously he takes her on the boat because he wants to get revenge for her. And basically they're talking. She thinks he's just showing her the sharks in general. Obviously they start banging, then he throws chum in the water. Sharks are there. He pushes her, basically like starts mildly drowning her back and forth while banging her, while the sharks like try and come and like eat all the shit around her. She thinks she's gonna die. He's getting off. It's a whole thing. What would I rate that scene? I'd probably rate it like a 6-7 out of 10. It wasn't like, I've read it. It's hard because it was consensual, but it turned non-consensual when the sharks got involved. Look, yeah, it was fucked up. Like, what he did was 100%, like, that was definitely fucked up for him to do. But again, I've still read worse in darker shit that has happened in books. It's a very unique scene that happened, and I think it's a kind of interesting visual to think about. So I still enjoyed it. Honestly, that's like the only red flag thing he's kind of done. Anyway, lightning's about to strike, and so they don't have time to go back to shore, back to like Port Belen. So they have to go instead to his island, which is like where his like research institute is for like all the shark shit. So they have to go there now instead. But I'm enjoying it. He's like so entranced by her. I'm liking it. I'm just surprised that the shark scene happened so early. Like there's still so much more left of the book. Like look at that. What are the spicy shit's gonna happen? I don't know. Is he about to finger her in a closet 5 feet away from an old man who was sleeping? Yeah, he is. Well, that's... You know what? I actually preferred the shark banging over this. Alright, so a couple of things have happened. I'm now 131 pages in. Things have happened. First off, so Enzo, as far as I'm concerned, is not technically a walking red. Like, I went into this thinking that Enzo was maybe like a bad guy. Like, I thought, oh, maybe he's like done some shady shit or things like that. Maybe he has. Again, I'm only 131 pages in, but I went into this thinking that. Instead, what we got instead was Sawyer having, I think she was framed by her twin brother. Whatever the reason is that she's on the run, part of it has to do with her twin brother, and now she's on the run because of him. And that's why she's been stealing identities, because something to do with him, now everyone thinks that she's being framed. She's being framed for something that she didn't do back in the US. Regardless, they were on the boat, lightning, storm, everything. Their boat capsizes, they end up in the water, he knocks out, she comes to, she basically swims them to like the nearest shore, which is like on this island, and then there's this like lighthouse there, and there's like a light in the lighthouse, so they go to the lighthouse to seek refuge since there's nowhere else for them to go. And there's an old man in there named Sylvester. Now, off the bat, Sylvester with his two little peg legs. Does he have two peg legs or just one? He's got at least a peg leg. Off the bat, you know, Sawyer's just trying to be nice to him, getting on this old man's good side because, you know, obviously they have nowhere else they can go. If they don't stay in the lighthouse, they're like abandoned out in this place, okay? And they have no idea where the fuck they are. Now, off the bat, Enzo is like, there's something off about this old man in this lighthouse. Okay, he's like, something's not right here. Now, the old man says that they can both share the one room that he has there. He will make them breakfast, but they have to basically otherwise catch their own food because he doesn't have enough food for them all, because a ship only comes once a month to like give him goods. And they have to be in their room every night by 9 p.m. And when they go to bed at 9 p.m, he locks them in the room, okay? Now, the second he locks them in the room, I go, yeah, no, definitely something wrong with this man. Then that night, Sawyer wakes up and she hears chains, like chains dragging on the ground, and I go, yeah, something's definitely not right here, okay? His reasoning to the chain noise is that the place is haunted by ghosts. And I'm like, really, bro? Okay, fine, if you want to say it's ghosts, we'll go with ghosts. So, I don't really know. Also, he then said we at some point, and Enzo's really fucking smart. Like, he picks up on every little thing that's going on, and Enzo was like, we, and the guy's like, yeah, like the collective we, you know? But I don't know what Sylvester's deal is. I mean, broski here has a shotgun, okay? Not good off the bat. Maybe he's working with some people and they traffic guns, or they traffic human beings, or something like that. I don't know. There's definitely something wrong with Sylvester. I just don't know, like, what sort of bad shit he's in. They then, of course, you know, fucking Enzo can't chill, so they break into the old man's room while he's out to, like, look for shit, okay? And Sawyer finds a photo of Sylvester, his wife, and their daughter. Obviously, daughter and wife nowhere to be seen as of now. They don't exist. The old man says that he's lived there for years alone. So, some shit definitely went down with the guy and his wife. Whether or not he murdered his entire family or not leaves a lot to be seen. I think I figured it out. 131 pages in, I think I figured it out. Because in one of the photos, the wife was pregnant. Okay, I could be completely wrong here. I bet, so either the wife is dead, okay, the wife is definitely dead. But I bet the chain noise is either his daughter or the, like, unborn daughter. There's two choices here. It's either the daughter that he already had or the unborn baby that was in his wife's belly in the photo. One of them is still alive and he has them chained in, like, his attic or something. That's my bet. That's my bet. That's so fucked up. Oh, that's so fucked up. And you know what? There was a trigger warning at the very beginning. What was it? It says, mentions of... Oh. Hang on. Mentions of incest, pedophilia, child abuse, mentions of rapes and other forms of abuse, kidnapping, and sexual explicit situations. So I've got a couple. So first off, this is making me rethink some things, because we know that Sawyer hates her twin brother. maybe her twin brother, like, used to, like, rape her, so that's, like, where that's so fucked up. That could be where the incest comes in. Maybe the child abuse comes from the old man and the incest comes from her and her brother. Oh, that's so fucked up, bro. Oh, that's so fucked up. Oh, of course. I mean, what do I expect? What do I expect? Honestly, let's be real. Anyway, that's the last thing I just read was them breaking into the old man's room, finding out all that shit, all the photos, but then the old man comes back to the room, so they have to hide in the closet. And then Enzo fucking fingers her in the closet while the old man's there, like, napping. That was a weird, like, I didn't mind the whole shark banging scene, but that scene with him fingering her with the old man, like, literally there, ugh, that's yucky. That I didn't like. I'm so invested now because there's, like, a weird, like, mystery aspect to it. Also, like, they haven't really tried exploring the island yet to see if there, like, is anywhere they can go, and I don't know why they haven't tried doing that yet. So, yeah, we'll see. Really quick read. I'm enjoying it, and I do love, like, H.D. Carlton's, like, writing, and this is definitely already going a lot better than Shallow River. So, positives there. Random update to let you know that I got distracted from reading by watching Dr. Stone the anime. Why? I don't know, but I did. This old man is definitely getting creepier and by the way, I had dinner. This old man, I'm only 149 pages in now, but this old man, Sylvester, is getting creepier and creepier. First off, they saw a girl at nighttime on the beach, and then she, like, disappeared. So, like, I think I'm definitely right about the idea that the clanking of the metal chains is definitely, like, one of his daughters. And now Sylvester's being kind of creepy towards Sawyer. Like, finally, like, it's been, like, a while now, and he's finally becoming a bit creepy towards her. Enzo's just on a stupid enemies to lovers warpath that he does not need. Look, I get it. He's pissed that she stole his identity, okay? I get it. But that's all she did. She didn't murder his firstborn child. She didn't stab him. She didn't take thousands and thousands of dollars. She opened up a credit card and used a bit of money. Like, he's overreacting, in my opinion, okay? And now he's treating her like shit. Bro. You know? And Sawyer has her own demons, and he doesn't even care what her own demons are. He's not even trying to get to know her. Dickhead. Oh my god. This is probably the best spicy scene they've done so far. Literally, listen to this. First off, she was having a sex dream about him, and then he woke her up from the sex dream. It was a whole thing. He was like, what were you dreaming about? She goes, nothing. And then he finds that she was having a sex dream, and he's like, let's reenact it. Of course. So good. Anyway, he's eating her out and he goes, how does it feel to be eaten alive? And she goes, it's not enough. I'd rather you fuck me to death. Yo, that's such a good line. Oh my god. Yeah, so unfortunately I was correct about the twincest. Yep, her brother. Yeah, that was revealed. Unfortunately, I was correct about that. Like, I wonder if she, I don't know. Like, I feel like that's the bigger reason why she's now on the run from it all. Because I feel like you could just move anywhere. Like, why is she on the run? So, like, why is she a fugitive? Like, what did she do? Because her brother's still alive. So who did she, like, what was it? I don't know. I don't know. They're currently 8 days away from when the cargo ship's supposed to come. Do I think is going to come? I do not know. Enzo's, like, slowly, like, softening up to her. Thank God. Because, like, honestly, I get why he hates her. But, like, he needs to, like, let go of himself, honestly. You know what I just realized? They haven't kissed. They're about to do the sexy sex, I think, in the water, in the ocean right now, you know, which, yeah, they're about to, oh, no, on the sand? Yeah, on the sand. You're about to have sex on the sand? You're gonna get sand in places, bro. But it just made me realize that they actually haven't kissed yet, and I actually think that they're about to, maybe? Ooh, she says good boy, LOL, love that. Oh my god, the amount of times in the book though that they've actually had the words "does it hurt" like come up, and I keep tabbing every single time. I love it. I love when the book title is mentioned in the book. Ugh, it's my life. Oh my god. I'm actually like gobsmacked by the scene I just read because like, hang on. They literally just had a full on heart to heart in this last scene, to the extent of like him admitting that he's sorry, and like the way that like when he shark banged her, he was like, that was wrong of me. And he's like, I should never have done that. And then my man's got down on his knees. She was like, get down on your knees and beg for my forgiveness. And he does. It was a really, really good chapter. Now they're gonna try and find a beacon so they can like signal their way to like get out of here. Which, I mean, I don't think is gonna, I think shit's gonna hit the fan very soon. Oh my god, so much has happened. It's not even funny. So, first off, Sylvester, yep, he went nuts. Basically he was like, you should definitely stay with me, blah, blah, blah. And so he was like, no, I actually think I'm gonna leave this island. And then Sylvester lost his shit and decided he was going to make her stay regardless. So then Enzo gets involved, they all try to shoot each other. Enzo ends up finally being able to trap him in the cellar that suddenly appeared. There was a cellar that was there the entire time, but it was like boarded up, so no one knew it was there, but Sylvester had opened it so he could trap everyone in it. So basically, Enzo traps Sylvester in it for the night and then goes to go find Sawyer, who'd like run off to go hide in the cave that she found. They're in the cave, they do the sexy sex. By the way, they end up actually reenacting the shark banging scene, but without the sharks being involved. So he ends up just banging her while drowning her in the water, as like kind of a catharsis version of the previous banging. And to be quite honest, it actually worked pretty well. And it kind of makes sense because it's kind of just a different version of hand necklaces. If you really think about it, it's a more fucked up version of a hand necklace. But at the end of the day, it is still breath play. So they're trying to figure out how to get this beacon. Sylvester's on the loose now. They're on this island. It's fucked up, okay? And then that night, they're in their bedroom going to go to bed and have it all boarded up. And you know the whole rattling weird ghost situation that I feel like is not a ghost but someone trapped there? The ghost is out and is knocking on shit and is banging on their door. Broskies, I was terrified. I was genuinely scared. I'm sitting here like, oh my god, like what? Like I was like, oh, I was sitting here and I'm in broad daylight, okay? And I'm like, oh, dude, this is such scary shit. Like, but yeah, no, the waterboarding, drowning, sexy scene was actually quite well done. I enjoyed it. So that was surprising. Okay, hang on. I think I was correct about everything. So, before I turn to the next page, even though the air conditioning is on and you can't hear me for shit right now. Okay, let's see whether or not, oh my god, okay, we've got a couple things to go through. First off, she murdered her brother 6 years ago. Her twin brother is dead, she murdered him, and that's why she's been on the run. Second off, I think they found the beacon. First off, it was a bookcase, a false door that was actually a bookcase that led up to the beacon at the very top of the lighthouse. Everyone knows that you should always check the bookcase, first off. Second off, I think we're about to see that this woman, oh my god, the girl's mouth is sewn shut. Yo, it is Casey. It's the unborn baby daughter that was in the stomach. I knew it, broski. I called this so early. I'm so proud of myself. And depressed. Yo, he killed the wife. So Sylvester had wife, 2 daughters. One of the daughters hung herself because she wasn't allowed to leave. So then he killed his wife and then entrapped his youngest daughter. Yo. Alright, so I finished the book. Oh my god. Okay, so many things. Well, not actually that many things ended up happening towards the end. Okay, so, oh god, I'm too close. Hang on, how do I? There we go, that's good enough. Basically, what the end verdict is the fact that there's a whole kerfuffle. Did I talk about Casey? Yeah, Casey with her mouth sewn shut. Oh my god, what the hell. Massive kerfuffle ended up happening towards the end. They end up Sylvester ends up accidentally shooting Casey and Casey ends up dying. And then while Sylvester is like mourning over his dead daughter that, you know, really didn't deserve to mourn over her, what's his name? Enzo ends up murdering him. So they're both dead. And then they're both sitting there and they're like, okay, we need to get rescued, but when they come rescue us, if they find out that you're Sawyer, like Bennett, you're going to be taken as like the fugitive that you are and like extradited back to America. He's like, so what we need to do is basically kill Sawyer Bennett. We're going to say that Sawyer Bennett was one of Sylvester's like victims, and we're going to say that you're Trinity, the daughter that hung herself, because no one knows that she hung herself and committed suicide. So Sawyer ends up taking on Trinity's identity, so when the people come to save them, they have this whole like elaborate story, which is fine. My only problem is Sawyer has an American accent, and she's pretending to be Trinity, who's an Australian. You know, that's the only thing that I don't like, that it doesn't add up. You know what I'm saying? That whole thing ends up happening. Anyway, they end up getting rescued, they survive, she takes on Trinity's identity, then, you know, everyone's pitying her, she changes her name to Sawyer to like honor Sawyer who died in her stead and things like that. And then what she ended up doing was she pretended that like Sawyer had written like a death note basically before she went and like died, and the death note like details again like that her brother was a shitty person. Ends up coming out that her brother, her dead brother that she murdered and has been on the run from for 6 years, he was like a pedophile basically and was like abusing young girls. Yo. Anyway, it ends with her and Enzo living happily ever after, and they end up shark banging again on the boat. This is a different version of shark banging. This time they're in a shark cage when they shark bang. Just so many different variations of water sex in this book. It's very interesting. You know what? I'm not really sure. It's so funny. I actually had a really good time reading this. I think it's definitely like probably a 4.5 to a 5-star read. I think I'm just going to give it a 5-star because like why the fuck not? Like I have no issues with any part of it except for the slight tidbit of I don't know how Trinity would have an American accent if she's been Australian, you know, captive with her dad all these years, but that's fine. Apart from that little loophole that I don't fully understand, I loved it. I thought it was so good. It was so much fun. It's definitely dark, but I do think Haunting and The Cat and Mouse Duet is definitely darker, I guess, in a sense. I guess. But I think this is also dark in a different way because the darkness of this comes from just the fact that they're being kind of like they're stranded on an island held captive basically the entire time, even though you know that they're not. And there's a whole like weird ghost storyline that ends up not being a ghost. And I think that's more of where the dark aspect comes from it. And then there's obviously the weird like CNC Dubcon like sexy scenes are definitely probably a bit dark, but I think at the end of the day, like as fucked up as some of the scenes were, I still have read more messed up things, and I think at the end of the day, the most messed up book that H.G. Carlton does probably have is Satan's Affair. I think Sibby's book is the most messed up. I think Shallow River is just flat out messed up. I did not like Shallow River. I had a lot of issues with that, and it wasn't really a romance at the end of the day, in my opinion. Whereas, you know, all of our other books are romances. You know, this is definitely a romance. Her and Enzo, while they do have some issues, like at the end of the day, like their relationship, as toxic as it might have been at times, was still a romance, and they did grow together. And like I said, that whole like redemption scene with the two of them, delicious, great, loved them becoming a power couple together. And again, like I said, I have definitely read some more dark and messed up shit than this when it's come to romance books. So I'd probably say this is probably a 4 out of 5 on the spicy scale. Yeah, a 4 out of 5 on the spicy scale, and a 5 out of 5 on a star rating. And it was really good. So I mean, if you watch this entire video, you're obviously not going to read the book, so definitely comment a little shark emoji down below. It was a very good book. I cannot wait for H.G. Carlton to put her next book out, which is going to be the Sibby duet. It's gonna be so good, so good. I'm so excited for that. But yeah, I tabbed it all. I'm kind of annoyed. I use these tabs that are like super light, so you can't really see them unless like you're properly looking. I kind of wish I'd used darker ones, but I had a blast and a half reading this, and I actually liked the Italian like little itsy bitsy bits that were put in it. I actually enjoyed them. Like they were put in enough that like it worked for me, especially because like sometimes he'd say things that I was like, huh, valid broski. So yeah, A+. I give serious props to H.G. Carlton for this one. This is definitely worth the hype. Definitely a very good book. And if you're a dark romance lover, you should definitely read this, because I think it's like the perfect kind of a dark romance, because it brings in a lot of different stuff. And at the end of the day, while yeah, Enzo did some fucked up shit, the majority of the dark part of this dark romance doesn't actually come from their romance itself, but from outside forces, which I actually do prefer when it comes to dark romances, because I just like them better that way. And yeah, Alright, thank you so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, don't forget to like button down below. If you want to see more of me, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and check me out over on TikTok, Instagram and Threads. And until next time, thanks so much everyone. Bye bye!